Let's talk about jobs. What careers will disappear, which will stay, and which will evolve to be completely new?
It is a fascinating area. And I think let's start with the jobs that I don't think are going away anytime soon, even with heavy automation, right? So anything that's sort of deeply nostalgic or traditional, like mayors or religious leaders and care work such as nursing or primary education, that's going to stick around because they rely on the human touch and the emotional connection. And the same goes for unique human experiences, right? So think about tour guides or live musicians. God, you've seen Oasis are coming back, aren't they, next year? But also even sex workers as well, right? That's still a form of work, right? And so when it comes to jobs disappearing, I find it more helpful to think about tasks, right? So roles that involve systematic, process-driven and repetitive tasks. Well, those are the ones that I would say are at the most risk of being taken over by AI. And so IBM's CEO last year, his name's Arvind Krishna, he said that 30% of customer facing jobs could be gone by 2028, and mostly in the sort of lower level administrative roles. And so as for jobs that will thrive, right, there's a principle that I always apply here, right? So jobs are only ever going away when problems go away, right? So as long as society has problems, there's going to be jobs to solve them. So again, let's come back to climate, for example. So expect a rise in careers around circular economy design, sustainable food engineers, and maybe even water harvesting specialists. That's a new form of job, based on extracting moisture from the air in newly dry regions, right, to create safe drinking water. And of course, a whole range of AI related jobs at all levels, by the way. At the very top, you might have the Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer. That's a board level role. AI ethics specialists. And I think HR is going to be smiling because I can see an entire army of human machine teaming managers to help people to work better alongside these sophisticated technologies. So after all, kind of like in the short term, AI is not coming to take your job, but a human being with an AI probably is. So one last thing to consider for the long term, if your job is spent entirely behind a screen, I'd argue it's at risk, right? Especially in the light of so-called agentic AI. So my tip is find ways to add value in person, right? So for example, you're in finance, right? Talk to HR about maybe running workshops internally or with clients to help them improve their skills in whatever field you have those skills. Or when layoffs happen, you're less likely, I would argue, to be a victim of proximity bias. And this is where people who are more visible and hands-on are seen as being more valuable.
So you want to be solving a problem and you want to be adding value in person. I love that. That's brilliant advice, really brilliant advice.